The opinions of the nice guys are exclusively their own and in no way reflect the opinions of, well, anyone really.
Or feel free to put conjunction junction. What's your function in there also?
What's your function? Picking up words and clauses and phrases like out of the frying pan and into the fire.
Well, looks like they picked the wrong week to stop sniffing glue. They picked the wrong week to quit drinking. They picked the wrong week to quit amphetamines. Looks like they picked the wrong week to stop being assholes. The nice guys apologize for any inconvenience that this podcast has caused anyone. By the way, is there anyone listening who knows how to fly a plane? Most days, they take their meds. This is not one of those days. Welcome to Fuckery with the Nice Guys. No interviews, no business content. Just your two favorite slack-jawed mouth breathers ranting about whatever. Now, strap yourselves in for Nice Guys Fuckery with the kings of fuckery, Doug Sandler and Strickland Bonner.
I know. It said Doug Sandler is in the waiting room. I don't get it. And what are you doing arriving exactly on time? That's like late for you.
Well, the problem was that I was meeting with a marketing company, and you know how that always works.
Oh, God. Well, at least we'll have something to talk about today then, right?
Well, we have a couple things to talk about. I definitely want to talk about the Trump indictment. I want to spend a little bit of time. So if you're listening to this, we're not going to spend the entire episode, of course, unless Strickland completely rolls over me and wants to talk about this the entire time. The other thing I want to talk about, I have notes. I want to talk about the Philippines team building program that is already running out of control. Then I want to talk about this marketing thing, this instantly relevant marketing thing. I think I've actually struck a deal to trade services for services, and I think this is actually a legitimate good company that I think we will be doing some marketing with in exchange for launching a podcast for them.
Oh, I love this plan. I love this plan a lot.
So
because we're gonna trade services for services, and we know our services are good. We just have never met a marketing company whose services are good.
Why is that?
I don't know.
Now, is it because the way I explained it to him is I said, I'm just going to say a couple things. Number one, I spent 30 years as a bar mitzvah MC, and I built my entire DJ business the same way I'm building my TurnKey business, which I never spent a cent on marketing. It was all just done through word of mouth and doing a good job. And my partner Strickland, I was explaining to them, I said, he's working with me and he understands the value of just doing exceptional customer service. And I am okay. And I keep saying this over and over again, slow and steady wins the race. We don't have to do it fast.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have to do it fast. But I would like there to be, you've mentioned this a couple of times. We don't have any kind of like brand. We don't really have a good our entire plan for bringing new clients in is just do an exceptional job and have our customers refer us, which is great.
Right. We get clients who are like, okay, if you're going to create my show art, here's my brand guide. And I'm like, yeah. So like, okay, whatever. Like, here are my fonts and here are my colors and here are the accent colors and the main colors and the secondary colors. And I'm like, really? Are you fucking McDonald's? But okay.
Well, and I guess I look at it and say, why I was such a successful DJ/MC? And their answer is pretty simple, because I never went to a fucking DJ meeting. That's why. It's like because all the DJs spend all their time is focused on, well, I have 40,000 songs in my database. Who the fuck cares? Do you have the 60 that people want to hear at their wedding or their bar mitzvah? That's all you need to know.
Right. So what is the deal that we've got with this marketing company, and how are they different?
So actually, it was Thomas Hilfridge. He was actually a guest on the Nice Guys on Business. Talk about a reverse guest to client strategy.
Right.
So he made me a client first, and I'm like, I really love this idea, but it was pretty deep pockets. I mean, he was talking probably $40,000 to $50,000 to do what his company could do for us. And I said, look, I don't doubt for a quick second that we need everything that you are saying.
Mm-hmm.
but we're going to get there regardless of whether we do anything that you were saying. It's just going to take us longer to get there. And he goes, yeah, I guess that would make sense. And he wasn't arguing with me, and he wasn't talking to me from a marketing perspective. He was just a good guy. And if you go back and listen to the episode, which I think just recently came out on the Nice Guys, you'll just hear he's just a cool guy. He's got a marketing company. It's called Instantly Relevant. And he doesn't have any idea how to start a podcast. And I was thinking, man, this would just be a really good opportunity. So I said, we would be very open, because that's about where we're going to end up being with Services for Services if you stay with us for a year or two. And I said, I just think it would make sense for us to trade this, if that would be even something you'd be into doing. And totally was into it.
We would be at $40,000 to $50,000 if he sticks with us for the year.
So some of the things that he may want to do are some of the things that some of our other clients do, like guest outreach, guest, do a little of the documentation of the guest research, all of the stuff that we would need behind the scenes in order to have a guest land properly, where he doesn't have to do a lot of the legwork. And I think that what we would do would be on par for what he would do. And he was the one that suggested, would you be open to doing it as a trade,
as a barter deal?
Yeah.
Instantly relevant marketing, right?
Right.
Interesting.
Yeah, good guy. So we have an onboarding meeting with them, and we can talk about it after we disconnect here. But I just think it would be, we need, and you've said this over and over again, it's like, our website sucks. And he's like, I don't mean to tell you your baby is ugly, but your baby is ugly.
Oh, yeah. What specifically is ugly, or just in general ugly?
He said, I don't want to tell you, he says, everybody thinks their website is like their baby. And I don't want to tell you that your baby is ugly, but your baby is ugly.
Is ugly. Yeah. And we're like, yeah, we know. Yeah.
Yeah. He said, well, the messaging on your landing page isn't exactly on point. Your brand isn't really cohesive. The photo of you on LinkedIn is not even look like you, Doug. I'm like, funny. I know, it was pre-beard and the whole thing. He's like, use your look the way you have it. You experienced look right now. He says, we're going to change all of that. We're going to rebuild your landing page. We'll rebuild the web page so that right on that landing page, people know exactly what you do, why what your value proposition is, and how to do what you do and how to connect with you. And we're going to get to a higher level of clientele than you have right now just by, puking all your product on your homepage. I'm like,
I love this plan. I love this plan.
Perfect. And doing it in trade, even better.
100%. Welcome back. My name is Strickland Bonner. On the other side of the microphone is my marketing guru, Mr. Doug Sandler.
I said, that's one thing. Don't ever ask me or Strickland to do anything with marketing. We'll direct you in the right direction, but we don't tell me what I need to do and have me DIY it. It's just not going to happen.
No,
it's
not going to do it
because I hate it. I hate it
too. I hate it too. Big time.
So,
I'm excited.
They're going to take care of it for us.
Okay. And we're going to launch a podcast for them.
We're going to launch a podcast for them, and they're going to take care of our marketing. And the only thing that we need to do is just have a meeting with them so that we are both on, unless you tell me, Doug, just run with it, then I'll meet with them and I'll do it. But I think there's some wisdom that you have that I probably don't care about that
I would like to share with. I'd like to hear what they have to propose. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we'll set that up. All right. Can we just get into this whole Trump thing for just a quick second? Because
sure.
I gotta just understand it, because my understanding is it's not illegal to pay hush money to a prostitute for having sex with them. And it's not illegal for you to pay the National Enquirer to catch a story and then kill it. And it's not illegal for you to pay someone else to pay off someone for you to keep them quiet. So all that stuff isn't illegal. It's just the fact that he didn't document it properly. Is that what was illegal about what he did?
No, you have a perfect understanding of the situation. So thanks, everybody. We'll see you next week. Okay.
Is that right?
What Alvin Bragg is getting him on, my understanding, is falsification of business records. Now, what that means is that you are basically saying that you spent money on X within your business, but in reality, you spent your money on Y. Now, this is normally a misdemeanor, and I guess something the IRS usually takes care of, and not like local. Can
I put it in real world terms? It means, like, let's say that I use the TurnKey credit card and I go to a restaurant. And in that restaurant, I take JJ and we have nothing no conversation about TurnKey, no anything. And then I hand it into TurnKey and I say, write this off because it was a business meal.
Exactly.
And it wasn't a business meal.
Exactly. Not that you would ever do that.
No,
and
I never would do
I
that.
would ever do that.
No, never would do that. Never.
But if we were to do that, technically that would be a misdemeanor of misappropriation of business expenses, whatever they call it. Now,
okay.
The reason it is more significant is the why. In this particular case, what DA Bragg is accusing Trump of is doing this in order to sway an election.
How does it sway an election?
That's what makes it a big deal. Because it is absolutely illegal to do something that could sway voters' opinions before an election. And I don't know what maybe it's to do something to keep information from voters that might sway. I guess that's technically it, because obviously you always want to give them information that will sway their vote towards you.
I got it. Okay. All right. So you can't hide what you were paying money for if it would potentially persuade a voter to vote against you because they wouldn't see it as a positive thing in your life, for example. And that kind of brings up another issue. The issue is, why are the people that do you know any porn stars?
Personally, no.
I mean, okay. And have you ever paid hush money to, I mean, he knows hookers and porn stars. I mean, even if he didn't do anything with them, just associating with them, is that somebody that we really want leading this country?
Dude, I'm with you 100%. And it's amazing to me that it's like the Christian right Bible thumpers that are still behind him, right? If you said to me, hey, you know what? I am a Trump fan. I want him to be president again because I liked his policies. I liked what he did for business. I want to build a wall between us and Mexico, whatever the reason, right? And I know he's a sleazebag. I know he's at affairs. And you know what? I don't care. That's his personal life. I would be totally fine with that. I personally don't agree with that, but I would be much better with that than somebody saying, you know what? All of these attacks on him, they are completely politically motivated. He is a good guy. He never had an affair with Stormy Daniels. He has not actually had 6 bankruptcies. He's not really on his 4th marriage. All of that is so untrue. And I can't believe that people are accusing him of all these horrible things. I mean, that's what kills me. It's like, what?
Hey,
the emperor has no clothes. Nobody wants to believe it.
Right. I mean, his political prowess can't be that far from his personal prowess.
Well,
it can't,
and I agree.
Can't be.
And some people might argue that, hey, you know what? He is a ruthless businessman, and that's who I want in the presidency. Somebody who's going to be ruthless, trying to get through the policies that I want to get through. Again, I wouldn't agree with that. And he had 4 years to do it and didn't really do shit, in my opinion, although I'm sure Jared's going to call now and go and tell me all the things that he did, which there were things that he did that I'm sure that everybody was, right-wingers were happy about. But yeah, he's just a selfish prick that's in it for nobody but himself. I mean, that's my opinion.
Can we have both? Can we have somebody that's in there that is very, I don't want to use the word cutthroat, because when I use the word cutthroat, that conjures up a negative feeling for me of someone that I don't want I don't want somebody that's cutthroat. I want somebody that is fair. I want somebody that has opinions, but I don't want somebody that's willing to do anything in order to win. I don't think that that's the right way to approach anything in life.
Yeah. And the theory that, hey, let's get a businessman in as president because we don't want a career politician. We want somebody that really runs business. The problem is when you're a businessman and you own your company, you have the last word on anything, right? Like your entire board could say to you, hey, I want to do A. And if you're like, fuck you, I own the company, I want to do B, you can do B. You can't do that as the president. As a president, you have to compromise. You have to get both sides to work together and talk things out and come to an agreement. And to me, I don't want to say a career politician is the way to go, but that's the thing with Biden, right? He's been in the government for fucking 40 or 50 years, right? And like everybody says, oh, like he's too soft. It's like, I don't know. It seems to me he's doing a lot of compromising and getting a lot of shit done, but that's just me.
And the other side of it is, why is it going to take until December to get him actually to
well, no, that's another
trial?
one that I don't know about, but that's just the court system, I think.
Yeah.
Because I think the judge suggested December or January maybe, and I think the defense said, you know what, that might be, or I mean, not the defense, the prosecutors.
Too close to.
Yeah, the prosecutors. Well, no, they didn't say anything about the election. Because really, the state of New York, they shouldn't care about when the elections are. But I heard that they said, hey, that may be kind of tight. In other words, we're going to need more than 7 months to put this. And I'm like, that's just nuts. Why? Like, they've been working on this for 5 fucking years. They need another 8 months to fucking put I don't
and it's interesting because whenever I see the trial system and the process on Orange is the New Black, it seems to go pretty quickly. I don't understand.
And in Law and Order, they get through that half in like 30 minutes every single time. I don't understand.
How do they do that in 20? How the hell do they do that in 60 minutes?
Right? I don't get it.
I have no idea. Well, I was just curious. And then, so the 34 counts equate to the number of payments, I think, or whatever, however many counts. It wasn't like there was 34 separate counts. These are 32 incidents of basically the same thing happening over and over again, right?
I think that's my understanding. Like before the indictment came out, there was some thinking that maybe there were other things going on, that it was going to be 34 counts, but like it's not just specific to these Stormy Daniels payments, right? So that it's other things also. But from what I've heard, it is specific to the Stormy Daniels payments.
And I kind of liken this to what is it? Al Capone was had how many murders that he committed, and it didn't matter because what ended up getting him was tax evasion. Or something
that was
like
it.
That.
He ended up getting convicted on tax evasion. They didn't, and that's the way I look at this with Trump. It's like there's so much going on, and there are a lot of people arguing like this is a bullshit thing, like nobody gets prosecuted for this shit, and like if Bragg, if it wasn't political, he wouldn't care that it possibly would have affected the presidential election, and that's the only thing that makes it a felony and the only reason he's pushing so hard to do it. But I was reading an article the other day, and I took a screenshot of this because it says, currently, Trump is being investigated by federal prosecutors over 1, the January 6 riots by the D.C. Attorney General, 2, alleged financial fraud on the presidential inaugural committee by the Fulton County, Georgia District Attorney, 3, criminal election interference in Georgia, 4, the SEC over alleged rule violations, and 5, the FBI and the Justice Department over his handling of classified documents. I mean, I keep saying this, and I'm going to keep saying it. We believed Lance Armstrong for a long time. We believed Matt Lauer for a long time until we didn't. We believed Bill Cosby for a long time until we didn't. How much is it going to take until we don't believe Trump anymore?
Well, you do realize that even if he gets convicted of the crimes that he has been indicted for, it's not going to matter because it's not going to matter for 2 reasons. Number one, anybody that's a believer in Trump is still going to maintain their belief in Trump. But secondly, even if he gets convicted, I don't think anything is going to happen. He still can run for president, can he?
No, now that my understanding is if you've been convicted of a felony, I don't think you can run for president. I think that's the thing. So would he ever do jail time? Probably not, right? But I think if you get convicted of a felony, you could be prevented.
I don't think that any of this does anything other than waste a whole bunch of time and taxpayer dollars. I mean, I like the rebel rousing here. I love it. I do love the fact that the evening that he got done with his court date for the indictment and he went back down to Florida when he gave his first speech, one of the first things that he did from the stump was bash not only the judge, but the judge's family as well.
I know, right? Like his fucking son posts a picture of the judge's daughter and is like, I don't even fucking know.
Oh,
because
man.
apparently the judge's daughter worked for somebody that was like Kamala Harris's friend, or I don't even know. I don't even know. It's basically something like, this is why he's doing this, because who the fuck knows? I don't know. Like the judge is biased, basically, is what he was trying to say.
So if all of this just equates to time wasted, what's the point?
Who knows?
What's the point?
Maybe, hopefully it will mean more of the truth coming out, and Trump believers at some point will go, maybe he's not such a good guy.
I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think that's going to happen.
Well, I keep also hearing like, okay, well, like Hunter Biden has done illegal shit. Why hasn't he been arrested yet? And it's like, well, it's not because every fucking prosecutor in the world is liberal. It's because they haven't come up with a credible evidence of something to charge him with. That's the way I see it. It's you can't make the argument that every single prosecutor everywhere is just liberal and is out to get Trump, and they're all trying to protect the fucking liberals. Like, I'm sorry, you can't make that argument. Somebody would have had some fucking thing against Hunter Biden if there was some evidence. And the fact that there are at least 6 different suits against Trump right now that are independent of each other, I'm sorry. It's just, the emperor has no clothes. I'm sorry.
Just so everybody knows, as you're listening to this, just know that the views of the host as expressed by the host and the co-host are not necessarily the same views as expressed by the guests on this show. If you're not enjoying the episode, just come back on Monday. We'll have another episode with somebody that's speaking the truth, or somebody that's lying even more. Who knows? The fuck knows? It's like, holy shit. This is just a crazy. Only in America. Only. The problem is that what we're creating is a more divided country.
Well, yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's it. We're just creating a more divided country. I don't really feel like anything is going to come of this other than just divide us even more. The people that are believers will believe more. Yes, there's going to be those people that were kind of straddling the line in the middle. At some point, even somebody on the Democratic side is going to say, hey, why are we wasting all of these taxpayers' dollars and the time of all of our legislators in order to do this? And they're going to go over to the Trump side. Somebody that's on the Trump side is going to say, maybe he is kind of guilty. And they're going to go over to the Democratic side. I think the extremes are going to stay right where they are, except they're going to dig in a little bit deeper. Yeah. I was never really a real huge supporter of the Democratic Party. I was never real. I mean, I always registered as a Democrat, but I was never like a dyed in the wool Democrat. I just stood for some of the policies that they stood for. There is no fucking way I would vote for a Trump-like politician ever in my life.
Yeah,
I shouldn't say that moving forward, but moving backward, there would have been no way I would have ever voted. Yeah. Moving forward, maybe somebody will come out that has a different policy or a different topic or a different agenda that's a Republican agenda that maybe I agree with a little bit more. But if it involves, pro-life, less regulation or shit that I don't agree with, then I'm going to disagree with whoever it is that's going to be in that spot.
Yeah, I'm with you. I believe our government, our federal spending has gotten ridiculously out of hand. And I definitely feel that I'm much more conservative along the lines of we've got to figure out a way to tamper down the national debt and reduce the budget. I'm huge on that, but not at the expense of banning abortion and hey, let's cut taxes on the corporations because that'll trickle down. It's like, no, we don't need to do, as much as I hate to say this from a personal, selfish standpoint, we do not need to lower taxes for anybody right now. We need to lower the fucking deficit. And what did Trump do? Trump fucking lowered taxes on corporate spending and lowered taxes on the rich. And that's all he fucking did.
We talked about this a few episodes ago, but I can't remember your opinion. What was your opinion? Should we forgive or should we lean into the student loan thing?
Yeah, I totally think we should ignore it. I do not. Again, personally, I'm carrying student loan debt for my son in Maine right now, and I would love to have part or all of it forgiven. But realistically, is it something that I think the federal government should do? No, I do not.
It would be a voting point for you, right?
Or no, it wouldn't be. No, it's it's a minor thing to me. I disagree with it, but if there's a Democrat that said, "Hey, I am absolutely going to make sure that this gets pushed through," it would not make me vote against them. Right. Now, something like what really gets me right now is things like, I don't know if you heard about this. I mean, the whole like drag ban. Like, this is nuts to me that Tennessee has passed a law against drag performances anywhere where underage people could see them, because drag performers apparently are groomers.
Groomers, right? I was going to say that, right?
Right, okay. Right. So, which is fucking ridiculous. Like, if you look at the paper, I mean, there's a couple of websites that have this that track pedophile arrests, right? And like, just this year, there have been dozens and dozens, literally dozens and dozens, probably 100 or more pastors, youth pastors, priests that have been arrested for pedophilia.
We should be banning church. We should
not
be banning
one
church.
Fucking drag queen. Dan Savage has a line, and he says, if kids got raped at the circus as often as they do by pastors, it would be illegal to go to the circus. If they got molested by clowns as often as they do by priests, it would be illegal to go to the circus. And that's it. And I have yet to see in the last 6 months or year or 2 years one fucking drag queen. There's a hilarious joke. I saw this guy did a bit about it the other day. He said, how could drag queens be groomers? Like, if there was a drag queen that was really a pedophile and he was playing with a little kid, there would be glitter fucking everywhere. It would be the shortest episode of Law and Order ever. They would go to the kid and they'd be like, oh, look at all that fucking glitter. I know, it must have been the drag queen. It was him, right? Like, come on, there's no fucking way a drag queen could do that.
Nice.
And get away with it. Yeah.
I think we have a couple of voicemails in there.
We do have a couple of voicemails. There's one other thing, since we brought it up. I don't want to get all political, but I'm just going to say it. Did you hear about this just yesterday? The Idaho governor signed a ban on abortion trafficking. So apparently they've basically banned abortion in Idaho. Now, if you live in Idaho and you do want an abortion, you can't leave the state. Legally, you are not allowed to cross state lines to get an abortion in another state.
Wow, this is interesting. I would be very interested in hearing how this would be held up in federal court.
Yep, it is some Handmaid's Tale shit to me. It's like, seriously, like, really, you're going to tell somebody that lives in your state what they can and can't do in another state?
Well, they're trying to push the boundaries. They're that into the idea that abortion should be illegal, so much so that that trafficking of abortion patients, women, would be illegal as well.
And it just kills me because the next step for a lot of these fundamentalist Christians is also banning birth control. So it's like, not only that if you're a teenager, not only do they not want you to have an abortion, but basically they're thinking, if we don't provide birth control for them, right, it'll keep them from having sex.
Right. Yeah. Uh-huh.
So really, it's not abortion they're trying to control. It's fucking sex. They don't want people having sex unless you want to have a baby.
That's kind of like, hey, you know what? Marijuana is illegal. So, I mean, marijuana is, we're just going to outlaw marijuana because we know that will help tamp down the amount of marijuana use in the United States.
Yeah, it's so fucking ridiculous. It's like, why do you even fucking care? Can't you just worry about yourself and not everybody else? But no, apparently they can't. So
Interesting law. Good. So not only is abortion trafficking illegal now,
well,
but it sounds
apparently in Idaho now there's going to be huge fights about it. I mean, they're definitely it's going to go
now.
to
Did you
court.
also say that contraceptive trafficking is going to be or is illegal as well?
Oh well,
We're not sure.
They're not yet, but they're talking about that. Like, because they're saying that if you are let's say you're a company and birth control is against your religion, right? They're saying you shouldn't have to provide health insurance that covers it because it's against your religion to provide that. It's crazy shit. It's just the craziest shit ever. And the same thing with the whole book banning, right? Like we're banning all these books that make people uncomfortable. And it's like, yeah, the Holocaust, that makes me pretty fucking uncomfortable, but it doesn't mean I don't want to read about it. I don't want to know about it, because if I don't fucking know about it, it's going to happen all over again. God damn, don't get me started.
I don't know this law. I mean, I don't know this rule or whoever is trying to do this. This sounds even nuttier.
It is. I mean, that's all Florida, Ron DeSantis. I mean, there are lots of it.
Oh, that's great. Our next Republican candidate for president. Perfect.
Exactly. They're just so into restricting everything.
What was the country that we're moving to? What languages do you speak other than English?
Me?
Yeah, any?
No.
We're all in trouble. We can't even move to another country and do this show.
I know, right? Well, Canada. We could move to Canada.
That's true. We could.
We'd have to learn all like, oh, how's it going, eh?
But would you be good with socialized medicine? Would you be okay with that?
Oh, I'd be totally good with that.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I'd be totally good.
Do they pay is a part of their taxes? Is their health care included in that?
Yeah. I mean, it's like we pay Medicare and Medicaid, right? Which helps people who, are when they get older, or if they are sick, or I guess if they're too poor. It's the same kind of thing, but it covers everybody.
At what year do you feel like you're going to retire? Like you're not going to work a real job? Have you ever thought about that? Like when did you want to retire?
I haven't, because I really like what I do. It's so funny because, aren't you allowed legally to retire as early as 62 or 62?
Well, when you say legally, you mean and still collect Medicare. That's what you're talking about.
Or collect Social Security.
I could retire tomorrow, but I wouldn't be able to start collecting Medicare for. I mean, and I'm fully vested. I just have to figure out what I'm doing for income for the next 4 years.
Right. Yeah, I like working. I mean, I get bored as shit, like playing fucking golf every day.
I'm ready to just give it a shot at how bored I could get. It's like, all right, because I have this conversation with JJ a lot. I'm like, I don't mind working, but I certainly wouldn't mind giving boredom a try. Let's see where this sits with me for a while.
Well, it's funny, that's where, like with Robert, when I worked for Washington Talent Agency, the old boss, both of our old bosses, Robert, he always said, hey, when I retire, I'm going to give you the opportunity to take over the company and buy the company. I'm like, cool, great. And he never lied about that. He never gave me a date and said, I'm going to retire on this date. But at some point towards the end of my tenure there, I started to realize, why would you retire? Like there were times where he would work, at least in my view, again, my perspective, he would work 10 hours, 15 hours in a week because he had people running the show for him. And it's like, why would you retire from that? You don't have much to fucking do and you're making a lot of money, right?
Well, you know what it is? It's kind of like, let's take our DJ, my DJ business, your band business as an example. Now, you didn't work as a band leader. Now, I'm not talking about as your role as president of the agency, but as a band leader, you would work 1 day a week, right? I mean, that would be the day, or you might have a rehearsal day, or you might have an audition day. But for the most part, the pressure day was that 1 day a week. But that 1 day a week, if that was a Saturday, when did you start thinking about the Saturday? Probably weeks or sometimes months in advance. And definitely that week, you're like mentally putting all of the gymnastics together, right? You're like, okay, is the van work and is the equipment there? And I get my guys that are going to show up on time, and I have the tech guy and I have the giveaways and all that stuff. As a DJ, the pressure started building literally the weekend before, as soon as the last job was over. And so what retirement means for me is it would mean there is no pressure to have to go out and do anything.
Well, but that could be in the context of a company, right? Like obviously in a band or as a DJ, it is going to always be dependent on you because you're the DJ, right?
Correct.
Like you could hire somebody to do all of the other stuff, but it's still always dependent on you. My ex-wife's old company, I think they had about 3,000 people or something. It was a pretty good sized company, right?
Okay.
And she would always talk about the owners. There were two guys who were owners and they literally lived in Florida and did nothing. Like they had nothing at all to do with the day to day. They just collected a paycheck. Yeah. And so to me, I'm with you, right? If within your company, you are still the end all and the be all and the final decision gets down to you, sure, there's always going to be some level of stress. But if you can grow your company to the point where you can hire other people and not have that and still collect a paycheck, you don't need to retire.
That's where I want to grow TurnKey then.
That's my plan too.
I want to grow TurnKey so that you don't have, all of the, and we don't have to get into the details here, but all of the shit that you had to deal with this week, the pressure packed environment of all of these deadlines and processes and systems that only so you're the single point of failure and you're the person that's actually put the entire process together. So there's a lot of that. And I feel you for that. I hate when that's the scene because you know me, I try to protect you as much as possible. I'm oftentimes protecting you from you.
Yeah, I know. I hear you. And I appreciate it.
And for me, it's like, I don't have that kind of pressure because nobody ever calls me and says, hey, Doug, you did not try to sell me today. And I'm really mad at you. That never is. I get the fallout. Look, your team did I'll be the guy they tattletale to, It's like a client will call and say, they didn't do this. So and for me, that's my pressure.
Yeah.
And for you, your pressure is the stuff that the aforementioned stuff here. So it would be great to have somebody in place to not only do the selling, the relationship building, but the system, just like a kind of like what Marjorie did, but one step beyond where Marjorie was. No offense to Marjorie, she was great, but one step beyond Marjorie in that that person would have the ability and the desire to want to make those decisions for us.
Yeah, it is interesting you mentioned that too, because like if Marjorie were still working for us, there are a lot of these things I could pass on to her, like when we get a brand new client, but we don't have anybody else on the team right now that I feel confident and comfortable could do it. Like, I mean, I love Ashley. She's amazing, but there's a lot of details that she wouldn't know the right questions to ask and right things to do with something like this.
And that's not why we put, that wasn't the position that we put her. I don't even think that's a position that she would want to grow into within the organization. She's a great support person, but I don't think that she would want to be put in a position to make those kind of decisions. That's not her. That's not like in her personality set, which is totally fine. I don't want her to have to deal with that stuff because Lord knows I don't even want you to have to deal with that stuff. But there are people that you could hire to do that. I'm just curious, like what that person costs.
Yeah, that's the thing. And so not only what does that person cost, but when was the last time we took on a client that was already producing a show? Now we've done it twice in the last 3 weeks, right? What was the last time before that? It's been months.
Well, I have to look at our client list. Is it been a long time?
It's been months. It's been 2 or 3 months. And that's the hard part, is that it's such a one-off thing, right? Now, both of these clients that we took on over the last month or so are ones that are fairly complicated because we're posting to their website.
We stepped into an environment already created. It's not like we created the environment for them. The people that haven't launched a show have no idea, and they're really easy. It's kind of like, oh my gosh, so easy. We're earning our keep with the people that pay us less, but we are doing more, providing a greater service.
Right, because we tell them what to do. And it's so much easier because it's like they're not going to ask about other things that they don't know to even ask, and they do it the way we want to do it. It's super easy. The hard part is when we bring on new clients that are already in production. It's funny, we've actually done 3 of them in the past month or month and a half because we've got Sasha, Lisa, and John, but it was probably 2 months or more before then. The whatever the previous one was. I
Hey,
don't even
look,
remember.
I can't control who comes through the front door. I just
And
know
dude,
when they
I
come
don't.
in.
I never want to tell you not to sell, right? I mean, it just
Yeah.
coincidentally 3 of them within a month and a half, and they all happen to be. I don't want to say high maintenance, but they're
not high
really
maintenance. They are their they do what they do. So they've created this system, and I think partly why we're so good at what we do is because while it's not in our first line of service to work other people's systems, it is in our first line of service to deliver exemplary service. And part of that means let's not upset the entire apple cart. We can change them, but let's change them one bit at a time.
Exactly. 100%. You got it. In fact, the other night, just last night, the night before, I guess it was the night before, I was recording a Loom video so I could get instructions. And for this one client, it's, okay, here's the video on how to post their show. Here's the video on how to post to YouTube. Here's the video on how to post to their website, because all three are kind of complicated, and I didn't want to do one 15-minute video, right? I did them all. I recorded them all. I'm getting ready to write some notes. I go back to look at the video. I was sharing the wrong screen.
No fucking way.
So I feel so fucking stupid. I'm watching the video and I'm like, I'm hearing myself and I'm like, I'm saying all the right things, and I'm like, fuck. So I got to do it all over again next week.
I have done that. All right. Well, you got some practice in there. You could you could probably tighten them up a little bit now.
Exactly.
All right. It's about 75 degrees and sunny outside. Perfect weather. Let's do these three. How many do we have? Three?
Three. Yeah, three.
Let's do these 3 voicemails. Let's head out of here, and we'll call it quits for the day.
Okay, here we go. Are you hearing that?
No, no, man.
Well, no, that's weird. I did share sound, but I think it's because it's coming out of the wrong speaker here. God, so many things to check, right?
So many things.
Like that, right?
Still the greatest editing software of all time is Hindenburg.
True.
We got a voicemail from Jared. I said a voicemail from Jared. You know a voicemail from Jared. Nobody else will call. We got a voicemail from Jared. Screw the rest of y'all.
Ooh.
So I have a couple of words.
Yeah, me too. I when I said I was going to post
yes,
last week or 2 weeks ago, whenever it was, I was going to post the long version.
Uh-huh.
And I did. I also found the isolated vocal track.
That's what I was gonna say. I haven't listened to it. So last week you did the isolated vocal track?
So, well, I did both. I think it was last week. So if you wait like 10 seconds after the end of the show, you hear the full length version, which I think just adds another verse or something. It's not that much longer. But then I happened to find the isolated vocal track, and I'm like, oh shit, I got to put this on too. So if you wait another 10 seconds of blank, it's a second Easter egg. Yeah. It's
about the long version. So the long version doesn't offer any more words. It just offers more of the same words.
I think there's another couple words in there.
There are another couple words. I do not. It's kind of like, the end of the Black Eyed Peas. The end of Uptown Funk. It's like the same song, right? Uptown Funk and Black Eyed Peas. It's the same.
Same production value, definitely. Yeah. This guy, whoever this guy is singing this, he's at least as good as Bruno Mars.
So no. What I meant was, the more words at the end of Uptown Funk, there's a little extra verse right at the end of that song. Do you ever? I mean, I'm sure you realize it when you hear the extra long verse. But there are no more words as a part of that. It's just like another little musical interlude, just briefly, like another 10 or 12.
No, I think there are actually some more words.
God, what are the other words?
I don't remember. I played it last week. I put it. You got to go back and listen to the episode.
That would require I do something like listen to us. Okay. All right. Let's listen to the voicemails.
Okay, here we go.
Hi guys. Time for me to start contributing to the voicemails again. I don't usually,
Emily.
like I said last time, or I don't know, sometime.
Nice. I love that. It's not Jared. It's Emily.
Sorry, Jared. Okay. That's not how he meant it.
A lot of time on the phone with insurance companies and all that stuff. So this is this should really feel like special that I'm calling. Okay, so you were talking about movies today on the show, which I love that topic. I was like super sheltered as a child, so like my first movies were like movies about the apocalypse. But the first real movie I ever watched, like the first real one, was with my Nana, and it was my best friend's wedding. And then I fell in love with Julia Roberts.
Yeah.
And then I watched Pretty Women. I don't even know how we got that one past my parents. And then the next one, which was like probably more like in line with what age I was, that I should have been watching but wasn't allowed to watch, was
St. Elmo's Fire.
Intentions. My friend and I called my parents and asked if we could watch it, and they were like, no. And then we watched it anyway.
Nice.
So that was fun. But I love that conversation. I love
There were some sexy scenes in that movie.
Revisiting movies of our youth. And I just wanted to say that the past relationship talk is super fun. You should keep going on that. Like maybe choose like one person every week that you Facebook stalk and talk about. That's pretty fun. And lastly, on the topic of Fleabag, anxiety, neuroses, I like to reframe it as preparation or, having my act together. So I like to always see the positive in anxiety, and that would be it. Anyway, can't wait till next Friday. Love these episodes. They're my favorite. And I'm glad you're being more judicious with your Monday guests, because I think that if you're not feeling it, then it comes through in the interview. So, okay, that's all. Goodbye.
So
let me. Okay, I'll address that. If you're not feeling it, it comes through in the interview. I'll address that in a moment after you say what you're going to say.
I'm rewatching Fleabag again, which I think I talked about, and it's so fucking good. It's so goddamn good.
It is really good.
Yet?
JJ doesn't like it, so I haven't gone past the, I think the first. How many seasons? Is there 2 seasons of that?
It's 2 seasons. I think it's like 10 episodes in the first season and 6 in the second or something. But I get that. It is definitely a very specific, unique type of humor, and I can totally understand if it's not her thing. Yeah.
So as it relates to the comment right at the end there, everything I was tracking everything that you said, Emily, until the very, very end when you said, be more judicious pretty much about your free time. I guess is maybe what it was, because if you're not feeling it, it comes through in the interview. I don't know if I think I'm that good a performer as an interviewer or as an interviewer and a performer that I don't feel like it ever comes through if I don't. Like, let me give you an example. We have a guest. I don't want to say the name of the guest because I think this might be offensive to the guest, and I don't want to offend the guest. I had a guest within the last, let's just call it 8 years. I had a guest, and the guest, his message was pretty out there, but I got into the role of not only believing the message, but believing the message because the guest believed the message so much. And my curiosity as an interviewer took over so much so that I really feel like even though this was an episode that potentially could have gone in a, man, this is somebody that I don't understand how anybody could follow this message, I was loving the message. So I just stayed in the character of the interviewer. But in the reality of it is, it's hard to separate the interviewer and the character from me anyway. So I always challenge that comment, because I've heard that comment before. You've got to be, look, if I didn't want to do the interview, I wouldn't have done the interview. The fact that I didn't believe in the subject or being more judicious with my time is irrelevant. If I'm going to commit to the interview, I am going to commit to the interview.
Yeah, it's interesting because let's say you start interviewing somebody and you realize that they have a perspective that counters what you think. Like, you're only going to call them out so much, right?
Right.
Like, at some point you've got to back off, embrace it, whatever. Otherwise, it's just like a big fight, and it's like
just
be
respectful of the perspective that your guest has. Present the counter argument, but then just understand that we're going to agree to disagree. Let's just have a really good conversation here, and that's exactly. And you put it really well, probably much better than I could have said it in that 5 minutes it took me to get it out. That's exactly how I had the conversation, and I feel like Maybe down the road I'll explain who this guest was, but at the same time I just and it wasn't you, Emily, just so you know, just so you know, it wasn't you. I believe in everything that you say. Love you, Emily. But I really did feel like I don't know. I only don't want to do interviews sometimes because I'm just fucking tired of doing interviews.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I love these. I've not once thought, oh God, I got to do an interview with Strickland. And we've been doing it for 8 fucking years, my friends.
Now it's funny because I have had that feeling a couple times before. Not like, oh fuck, I want to talk to Doug. It's more of like, oh fuck, time to make the donuts. I'm just like, I'm busy. I don't have anything interesting to talk about. But by the end of the episode, every fucking episode, I'm like, oh, well, that was fun. Okay, good.
Yeah, like I wanted to be outside in the sun today, rather than
75
your ass, but whatever. But I'm here,
Right,
I'm here, and I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Okay.
And we're going to get you done early, although we've already been talking for 50 minutes. So let's get to the other 2 voicemails.
And Emily, if you could please continue calling, because I love your voice, number one. Your subject matter, while it's not the same as Jared's, that's why I love you. It's different than Jared's, and I appreciate that. And you always have a unique perspective, especially for a movie that you watched as a kid, and the movie came out in 1999. So for me, it's like, Jesus, really? You're that young? Okay. I like that though.
And then maybe if you keep doing it on the regular, maybe we will get a voicemail music for you.
Erica also. Erica is the first one to, I think she was the first one to say, when do I get my own theme song?
She did say that, yeah. But it would have to be different. Like we couldn't do like a rock and roll one. I'm trying to find Joel Stein. Is this the show? It's a guy that's hilarious that does a weekly. Yeah, I gotta pull it up. I thought it was Joel Stein. He does a podcast and he does it every week, but he basically interviews experts every week.
Yeah.
But story of the week. Okay, hold on. Now I got to look this up.
Can I tell you something while you're looking that up? Let me just mention something here. I don't know what the big hullabaloo about the Moth podcast is. I think it's dumb as shit.
Well, I've had a couple podcasts that people are fucking rave about, and I listen
and
I'm
like all sorts of accolades and awards, and people love it. And it literally is just that's a Pushkin.
Yeah.
I like the Pushkin shows. Anyway, so I was listening to the Moth because I usually wake up around. It's going to sound fucking nuts. I wake up at 3 a.m. every day, just so everybody knows. I wake up at 3 a.m., but I don't get out of bed. I get out of bed to pee, then I get back in bed and I'm like, oh, fuck, I don't want to be awake at 3 a.m. So I put my earbuds on and I usually play the daily is coming out like right around 6 a.m. So I listen to the daily, and right as soon as the daily fades out, usually or all the time, my phone just plays whatever is the next in lineup. So I have subscribed to like a ton of podcasts. And one of the podcasts I must have subscribed to at some point is The Moth. So somewhere around 4:30 or 5 o'clock, The Moth comes on. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? This is like just a bunch of people telling stories, like 5-minute stories in front of a live audience.
What is it about?
It's their stories. It's just their craziness. It's like, it's like me. I don't know if I've ever told you the Swedish fish story when I was 16 years old and choked on Swedish. Okay, I told you that story, right? Yeah. It's like somebody coming up and telling their 5-minute story of them choking on Swedish fish. And I'm like,
is it one story or is it a bunch of them together?
It's a bunch of them. It's a bunch of them. And then it's like in some narration in between. Here's our next list, or our next I don't know, Moth or whatever. I don't even know why it's called the fucking Moth.
Well, it was like Hard Fork. Now, maybe I got to go back and give that a chance again.
Yeah, I like Hard Fork.
The idea of Hard Fork, I really liked. And I listened to the first episode or 2 or 3, and I'm like, they just kind of fucking ramble and they talk about the same shit a lot.
Yeah, can we get off of Chat GPT for a minute?
Right?
They spend so much time talking. Like, talk to me about the PC or a Mac, or talk to me about the latest evolution of 5G or anything. I don't oftentimes get much of that. They spend a lot of time talking about Chat GPT. Now, I haven't listened to it in weeks, so I don't know if that's the case. But I agree with you. I got tired of that show really fast.
Well, what made me think of this is how my brain works. I was thinking, hey, we need a voicemail for Emily's song if she keeps calling in regularly. And then I thought, no, I mean, yeah, we want to have that. But musically, it would have to be way different from the rock and roll we have. I'm like, what would it be? And I'm thinking like a Lisa Lobish acoustic light kind of thing, right?
Nice. Singer-songwriter.
Right, exactly. Singer-songwriter kind of thing, which made me think of this is like the greatest to me. This is the best fucking intro
All right, let's
ever.
hear it.
I don't know if he does a tease. Can't remember if it starts with the music or a tease.
No, that's Pushkin's.
Yeah,
theme.
Pushkin. Yeah.
In 2013, Katie Dalebout,
Okay.
a then 22-year-old fresh out of journalism school,
Gotta get to
loved
that.
listening to radio and start today for trends. Hopefully,
of the week.
You need data.
Wait a minute.
The fuck?
I would've.
They put their intro like after all this intro stuff?
You know how it felt. My
Yeah, this is a lot of
followed
teasing.
recently
Oh, here we go. Okay.
to try to
Here we go.
live
Take a listen.
without using any plastic.
Here we go.
Gotta listen to the words.
Writing is hard, who's got that kind of time? When you're already busy trying to be Joe Stein. So he turns on a mic, maybe twiddles a knob, calls a journalist friend who's got an actual job. Auditory, single story, just listen to smart people speak. Conversation filled with information, it's the story of the week.
You know, we're
See,
fucking
I
gonna
love that.
we're gonna get bumped off of YouTube because you've just played that theme song, probably, right?
No.
Apple will probably like dock us, and we'll be a show that will have to live in the corner with our dunce cap on forever. You know? What the
Maybe.
fuck?
I don't know. But
That was good.
I love
That was
that.
good.
It's basically like, hey, fucking writing is hard. So, and you know, I'm busy being Joel Stein. So I'm just going to call a friend and I'm going to ask a friend who's got a real job and really knows shit. And then I'm going to let him talk. And hey, it's going to be an episode.
Oh, right. So in other words, he's an interviewer. He does the interview, but he's not really, he calls it journalism, but he's just interviewing a guy that knows actually a lot more stuff. That's kind of my role. I kind of play that role too.
Exactly. Most of the people he interviews are journalists. And like even in the intro, he specifically says, Joel's going to call somebody who probably has a real job as a journalist and really knows shit. It's funny.
And Joel Stein's probably making a mint.
Oh my God. Yeah, I'm sure. Okay. We ready for the next voicemail?
How many have we done? Just one?
This was going to be short and we're almost at an hour. We only did one.
What is happening?
I know. We can't fucking.
We promised ourselves no more than 30 minutes. We did that years ago. We did it for like 2 weeks.
And we can't shut up. That's the problem. We can't fucking
nuts. Oh, by the way, happy Passover, Strickland. I know we're right in the middle of it. It started last night. I'm such a fucking bad Jew. So last night I called Lou Diamond. Talk about Jewish name. Come on, seriously, Lou Diamond. It's like Gertrude Stein. It's the same idea. Okay, so Lou calls me 2 days ago, and he wanted me to call him back, and I said, okay, I'm busy, but let me call you back in about an hour. I completely forgot to call him back. So last night, being Wednesday night, I call him around 4:00 my time, which is like 7:00 East Coast time.
Yeah.
I'm not even recognizing the fact that it's fucking Passover, and he's probably in the middle of like a Seder dinner or anything. He's like, it's Seder. Can I call you another day?
Oh my God.
Like, I can only imagine. I interrupted him right in the middle of the roasted shank bone and the Seder plate or something like that. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to fucking hell. Fortunately, we don't believe in heaven or hell in Judaism. So I'm all good.
And he's looking at his phone and he's thinking to himself, if this was one of my goy friends, I would totally understand. But what the fuck, Doug?
This was
You know what
Strickland
day
calling
it
me.
is.
I would understand if it was Strickland, but I got another fucking Jew calling me on Passover, the holiest of all holidays.
Okay, so here's something else. I met a couple. I was with friends in Houston last weekend or 2 weeks ago, and I met a couple, and they're Jewish, and I was like, oh yeah, like Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Hamotzi Lechem in Haaretz, and they look at me like, you're not supposed to say that when you're not actually blessing them. I'm like, oh shit, really? I didn't know. I've never heard that before.
Whatever.
That's like the blessing over the meal. I didn't know it was like bad form to actually say it if you're not
it's
blessing
cool.
a meal.
Everything's a meal. When you're Jewish, everything's a fucking meal. It's either a war, a Holocaust, or food. So we're good. It's all good. It's all good.
Okay,
You did
here we
good.
go.
Hey, Doug, Rick Garrett here. So you guys are talking about Trump. And you
Again.
asked a question, so I'm calling to answer your question.
Okay.
Am I just only wanting to vote for Trump, or would I vote for somebody else? Or, I can't speak for everyone, obviously, but
Sure. Yeah.
no, I'm not just only ready to vote for Trump. I just don't think anybody else is going to run that could compete with him. So I don't think there are any other nominees. Would I vote for Trump over pretty much any Democrat at this point in time with everything that's been going on? Hands down.
Fair enough.
Based on his 4 years in office and how it directly affected my life and these last couple of years with the dumbass in office, I would vote for him in a heartbeat and kick Biden to the curb. Wouldn't even hesitate, wouldn't bat an eye, wouldn't think twice. So when we look at the future elections, if somebody else were running and they were a better candidate, absolutely, dude. I'm not locked into one person. And quite honestly, if a Democrat that aligned with my thinking, I'd vote for them too. I've voted Democrat fast. I don't care. I'm just looking for somebody who's not a career politician criminal to be in office. And unfortunately, that's almost all of them. Trump's
everybody.
just a little different on that side because he wasn't a career politician.
True.
That's probably about where it is, but I don't know. Don't trust any of them. Don't think any of them are worth a hoot, really, and just don't like politicians in general. I know it's not a fair statement for some of the politicians out there, but dude, most of them are corrupt. There's no getting around it because they can be career politicians. 2 years, you're out. Go to fucking hell. That's what needs to happen. It needs to go back to the way it used to be, where you're not able to be in there for 40 years and not actually do something else.
Yeah.
And it's funny that you guys keep talking about the things Trump did, and yet, you got Biden making comments about black people and them belonging in a jungle and not in society or schools, or I can't remember the exact thing he was talking about, but it was just astounding to me. And yet that never comes up. But that was core to his beliefs. And yet it's amazing to me how many people overlook that and then try to cancel other people for stuff that is not anywhere near as gross and egregious as that. So I don't know. That's a can of worms you don't need to go into, but there's so much out there around all these politicians. And it's funny to me, and this goes for both sides. They find one thing and focus in on it and pretend like nothing's happening on their side of the fence. So, and as much as I align with a lot of Republican values, I don't necessarily consider myself just a full-blown Republican.
Now, and this looks like a short third voice message, so it's probably an extension of, he probably got cut off at the end of 3 minutes. I have not heard anything like that about his comments about black people or anything like that. I mean, maybe that was something early in his political career. I'd be really curious to hear any details about that because, dude, he was fucking VP to the first black president. I mean, I don't know how you could be racist and be second banana to the first black president, but
easy when you say racist and banana in the same sentence. Just so you just so you know. I don't know if you picked up on that, but I just picked up on that. You have to be very, very careful. The other thing I just wanted to address one small thing that he said, and I think that this is a really valid point. I love the idea 2-year terms. But then you got to be really committed to politics. 2-year terms at the end of terms, capital punishment. I love this idea. So you'd really have to be ultra committed. I guarantee you we would not have as many people running for office as we do now.
Well, I do. I think term limits, I think, is a good idea. Like when we got these senators that have been around for fucking 30 or 40 years, that's fucking ridiculous. But like a president to do 2 terms, I mean, steering the country is like steering a fucking battleship, right? You can't just turn on a dime. It takes time. So I'm okay with the idea of 4 years of presidency, and then you could do it again for 4 years, but that's it.
What would you be better with? Would you be better with 6 or 8 years as a term for a presidency, or 2 4-year terms? Because I 100% agree with you. I think steering the country is like steering a battleship. I think everybody that's in the Senate and House of Representatives in any congressional role at all, 2-year terms, can't run again, period, the end. That is it. You cannot run more than one time. For 2 years, you get it. For the presidency, I think it should be either a 6 or an 8-year term, and you can only run one time. You don't have a shot.
I mean,
because I do think it takes a long time to get shit to happen.
It does. But to me, like a long time, like I think of 4 years is a pretty long time. Like I wouldn't be totally against the idea of a single 6-year term, but 8 years would be too much to commit to. There's too much that can happen. Like think about if we had to deal with Trump for 4 more years. If
the
we
challenge
were
is the challenge is it takes so fucking long to get anything done. Any law that takes to get through that's worth its weight. Any kind of resolution to anything, any adjustment to the Constitution, anything like that. That takes a really long time. And I kind of do like the idea. I think the judicial branch, the Supreme Court, I really do think, for me, the lifetime term, I like this. I really do like this because, at the end of life, death happens. And at some point they're going to turn. I do like this, but I don't think lifetime president. I don't think that's a good idea.
Who brought up lifetime president?
Well, I'm just saying, if I'm comparing, okay, well, can you be a congressman or a senator or in the House of Representatives? Can you be in it as long as you keep getting voted in?
Yeah. I think is it senators don't have limits, but congressmen do? I don't fucking know. I don't know, but I agree with you that it takes a long time to get bills and shit put through and changed, and I learned that from Schoolhouse Rock.
Yeah,
I'm just a bill. Yes, I'm only a bill. Yeah, I'm sitting here on Capitol Hill.
Yeah, yeah, that's good. That's
All
good.
right.
I like that. Schoolhouse Rock, by the way. You should put a link in the show notes for the. I think you did that at one point.
Yeah, good
You
idea.
Put
I'll
the
put that
YouTube
in.
video on there.
Definitely.
Or feel free to put conjunction junction. What's your function in there? Also.
What's your function? Picking up words and clauses and phrases like out of the frying pan and into the fire.
One
But
more
the balloon
voicemail, or
wouldn't
is there 2, or is there one more to go?
There's one more. There was a great big pause in the middle, so I just edited it.
Oh, okay. I'm ready.
Okay, here we go.
Hey, Doug. Hey, Shrek. Jared here. Voicemail number 2. Holy fuck, I went on a rant and didn't even realize I was doing that. So I don't know if it made it in there, but I just, I would vote whichever route somebody aligned better with me. And I honestly
route or route?
completely forgot my last few words because I was like right at the fucking end. Anyways, I think you got the gist of it. But no, I'm not tied into one party over the other. I just fuck them all. Take care of our people, take care of our country, and
It's the Trump way.
Yeah. All right, guys. Appreciate you, and it's always good hearing you, even when you go off on Trump. Once again, he's not my daddy or anything, so speak freely and let it roar. So I'll listen for most of it.
Let it roar. I love it. So I am curious though, because I'm sure Jared will call in next week again. I hope after hearing this. What do you feel that Trump did in his 4 years in office that was good? I'm very curious to hear that, because I agree with him. If there was a good Republican candidate, I'd be open to vote for him, especially one that is going to try and lower our national debt. But Trump was like, hey, at the end of 4 years, we're going to have no national debt. I'm going to fix the whole fucking thing. And it was 25% higher when he left office. So like he not only did nothing to reduce it, he actually made it fucking bigger. And I know there's some arguments like, well, COVID happened and he got fucked with that. From what I understand, in his first 3 years before COVID happened, he was not working towards making the debt smaller. It was already getting bigger before COVID happened. And COVID, yes, made it worse. But his cutting taxes on corporate made it the fucking deficit even bigger. Yeah, that's my understanding.
I am waning to get outside.
Yeah.
Waning.
Yeah, I got
75
steaks to cook for dinner. Yeah, it's
75. Hey, we're doing steaks on the grill and pork chops on the steak. I know, Passover and everything, but now is the time. I really feel
pork
like
chops and applesauce.
All right, let's head out of here. Until next week, thank you everybody for listening, tuning in again. If you're a brand new listener, we just have one thing to say, and Strickland will say it right here.
We're sorry.
We are very sorry. We're never going to get to the music. We're never going to play the song, and it never gets any better than this. And no guests on Friday. Just remember that. Steve O'Brien, go ahead and take us out of here.
For the nice guys on business, I'm Steve O'Brien. Looks like they made it through another one. I don't know how they do it without falling asleep in the middle.